Percentage all important in 2012.
Interesting too that Mackenzie has gone to Petrie, at least in the early going. So away we go. Goldstein against Nat Nui. We know how enormous that task is going to be this afternoon. He knocks it down Pritis' way. Early free kick from the umpire, and Jack Darling takes the footy and goes long down to Dean Cox. This is how they started last week, and they do it in exactly the same fashion back-to-back weeks. How about that? Kicked 16 goals, 8 this season. Last year, just 10 goals, 9. This for goal number 17 for the season, and the West Coast Eagles get the perfect start. They got a goal inside a minute last week, and they've done it again this week.
It was well done by the kid. He really stayed at the ball for start off. Really worried Hams right out of that contest.
Atley to the hot spot. Hansen is down there. Goldstein too. In the end, strong hands. Made his way back into this Kangaroos outfit a couple of weeks ago, and he kicks the Kangas first. All level at Bluntstone Arena. Lynch terrific to Cox from 60. Well, a beautifully weighted ball in the end finds Daniel Kerr. Well, this time the distance and the accuracy are both no problem for Daniel Kerr. The Eagles, they get their second.
And he didn't miss by much, but once the ball's in his hands, your way of tackling, you really have to get both arms right around it.
Atley does okay, gets rid of it in the end, and charging through was Swallow. He left the ball behind, ends up with Pritis, goes long, and he's accurate again. Gets the ball a lot, and he uses it well. He gets the Eagles third.
It was a hard one to grab. It was above his head and high, and the kick out looking for Tarrant. Almost didn't bounce nicely for him. Goldstein now working hard. Fires it back to the skipper, who shoots from about 35. Wonderful finish from Swallow. And North Melbourne get their second goal of the afternoon.
Now to Zeeble. He measures the long ball over the top. Will it suit Tarrant? Well, he just lost his feet in the end. Cox reads it off hands. Couldn't take it cleanly. Here's a chance. Lindsay Thomas on the left. Kangaroos get one. If you just joined us, Kieran Harper, the substitute for the Kangaroos. Kobe Stevens, a late in for Beau Waters, who was just sore during the week and didn't come up. The Kangaroos, can they make it 3 in a row? Late going. Well, Lindsay Thomas gets on the end of it. 23 goals, 15 for the year. Ambles in, kicks. The crowd like it. They love their Kangaroos, and the Roos are in front late in the first.
Bouncing ball inside 50. Hansen worked out a handball to Tarrant. Back to right now. They keep it alive. Eventually gathering the football, and his footing was Campbell. Back again he goes to Tarrant. The long one. Bouncing ball in the square. On the line. Goal. They have got 4 in a row. North Melbourne lead it by 11 points.
Harvey read Hansen's intentions and collected the pass to make it 5 straight goals for North. Jack Zeeble then extended the goal-scoring streak.
Zeeble at the front, he stayed down, got a little handball, it's coming back, and he's kicked it.
North ticket holder Ricky Ponting and paceman Peter Siddle enjoyed the Kangaroos hitting maximum points. Tarrant made it 8 in a row.
Has one. And he has 2.
Jack Darling ended the Eagles' drought after the siren. At half-time, North Melbourne 9-3-57, West Coast 4-6-30.
So Nat Nui getting busier. He worked his way to the front and earned the free kick. He plays on quickly. He might have been on, well, a little bit of the receiving end. It was a quiet first half. Ball from Hams to Lynch. Here's a chance for the West Coast Eagles. He keeps it low. It's a bouncing ball. Don't think it was touched. And West Coast, like they did in the first term, get the first goal of the third quarter.
So Darling and Lynch late in the second, early in the third. 35 points is narrowed to 21.
50 metres!
And here we go again. The Eagles might make it 3 in a row. I suppose they'll just agree to disagree as Chris Marston tries to make it 3 in a row for the Eagles. He kicks, umpire shuffles. It's enough. Here come the Eagles.
North have just steadied, and they've steadied because they're kicking also long into the ground, and this will be a free kick to
Boomer, I think. 15th on the all-time list, and when he started, Fitzroy were playing their last game that afternoon. He's seen them disappear. The Power, the Suns and the Giants enter the competition, and that's what he's been doing for a long time. giving Kangaroos fans exactly what they want. Hamish McIntosh just watching on, as he's done for the best part of a season and a half. Much to the chagrin of Kangas fans, McKenzie, little one from Butler, is neat to Cox. The Kangas led by 35. And they've got some life in this game. Dean Cox, long ball, good ball, great ball. Kangas by 16.
Out to Prittis, approaching the wing. He's had a couple of bounces, sends it long in the Cox direction. He read it well and just drifted in front of Goldstein and Marks. About 55 from home. Too far out to goal. Lynch on the lead. Lynch marks.
The depth of their kicking now is putting pressure on the North Melbourne defence.
Lynch 1-2 this afternoon. This to make it a 9-point margin. The ball comes around and it's home, and West Coast back in business.
It's been a great battle between Selwood and Wells. Neither of them had a big influence at the moment. Look for Wells to kick up in this last end of the quarter.
He finds McMahon right on cue, Kirky. McMahon can send the Kangaroos inside 50 to the top of the arc, and suddenly Robbie Tarrant.
And you lead on him, you're going to get him. His best way that he plays is as a sweeper. And Tarrant used his brains in, held him back, and then just made that gap.
Tarrant has 2 now. He's got 3. In arrears after trailing by 35. Adams, terrific. Just sharked it. Partially smothered ball. Ends up with Ashton Hams. Gets taken high. Quick one to Marston. Backwards he goes to Lynch from 55. This is an important kick. Long ball. I think it's gone the whole way. Lynch has 3.
Quiet first half. Cox now doing the ruck work. Down to Kerr in game 200. Back to Cox, who gives it to Rosa. Sends it down in the Darling direction. Again, he can't mark. Free kick this time. Jack Darling turned 20, taken with pick 26 in the 2010 draft. He kicks and goals. That's the closest they've been since the 25-minute mark of the opening term. 3 points. 1-point ball game, just correcting that. So now Gaff, with Harvey closing on him, and the mark taken by Wells. It wasn't a good kick. He plays on. What can he do? The Peel Thunder product. 1 bounce, then he touches it down. Wants to draw the man. Back to Boomer Harvey, the man for the moment. Does he get away from the Brennan tackle? He got a little bit on it. Boomer Harvey kicks a wonderful goal.
As usual, Basil.
Lynch thumps the ball forward. Desperate, the Eagles, to try and level this up. And Hill against Grimer wins the contest. They brought him home after his AFL career started with the Dogs. And that is terrific. And we have no leader in Tasmania. And they still have an opportunity to steal this game back. They trail by a point. Goldstein to Lee Adams, and now to the lead of Tarrant. The Eagles have kicked 8 of the last 11, and Tarrant has kicked one for the Kangaroos. Siddle and Ponting watch on. The Kangas back in front.
Not quite helpless, but not a lot the coach can do now, and the ball spills out Mackenzie's way. A little bit lucky then, the West Coast Eagles. Cox again takes a strong mark. He kicked 20 goals last season. He's been a big factor in front of goal to give West Coast the lead back. He goes bang, goal. West Coast up by a point.
33 seconds on the clock. 2-point ball game to North. Hold their nerve.
Anthony wastes no time at all, and nor can he. Goes to Atley, who needs to move the ball quickly. He goes out wide, and they find their man. The handball not particularly good from Grimer, but it works out okay. Swallow involved. Back to Anthony. Long again. Dean Cox, mark number 15. Career high, and that might just about be it. Less than 10 seconds to play. Dean Cox has been terrific. He stood up when needed, and West Coast are going to win this game, you fancy. They win it and go back equal top of the ladder with Collingwood. West Coast Day, they come from 55 points behind to win it by 2 points. What a game in Hobart.